Among pets, leadership is occupied mainly by four-legged cats and dogs. Sometimes you can meet a parrot or a canary in a cage. Not uncommon, and guinea pigs with hamsters and rats. But recently it has become fashionable to domesticate reptiles, tigers, lynxes. And the raven bird is probably a rare domestic resident. Sometimes people face a choice when buying a pet. The seller advises to buy one or another animal. But before you make a purchase and not make a mistake in choosing, you need to study the details about this or that living creature well. You can even chat with those who already keep a crow at home. In the wild, it lives on almost the entire territory of the planet. Adapts to any conditions, very hardy. The closest relatives are crows, jackdaws, rooks. The raven is a large bird, black with a bright blue tint. Ravens are said to live up to 300 years. Of course, this is a myth. The average raven lives 65 to 75 years, depending on how favorable the conditions are. It feeds on carrion, rodents, looking for food in garbage dumps. It is believed that the raven has a high intelligence, and therefore it is easy to tame and train. All crows offered for purchase are taken from the wild and not grown in nurseries, as the sellers claim. Therefore, it is advisable to buy a young raven which differs from the old one in black, matte plumage without a blue tint. Also, the young individual has a sharp, strong beak and claws. The tail is wedge-shaped, the feathers in the goiter are pointed. Man began to domesticate the raven because of its elegant appearance, ability to imitate quick wits. To keep a raven in an apartment, he needs an aviary or cage, preferably large, so that the raven does not soar in it as in the sky, but at least flies from place to place. Perches should be installed in the aviary on which the bird will sit and sleep. If the cage is small, the raven will sit in it crowded, motionless. It can even spoil its plumage when it makes an attempt to take off. You need to install a font in the aviary, since the raven is a very clean bird. If the raven does not take water baths, then after a few days it will smell unpleasant. Also in the cage should be toys for the bird. For the first time after the purchase, the crow lends itself well to training. But in the future, he only recognizes the owner, as he is very jealous. May show aggression towards other family members, especially small children, as well as other pets. This is because the raven is a pair bird, not a flock. For him, there is only himself and the owner, all other enemies. You can't buy special food for parrots in pet stores, so you have to cook it yourself. Porridges on the water from various cereals, grated vegetables, cottage cheese, and, of course, meat are welcome. From meat, it is preferable to feed beef, offal, chickens, quails, rabbit meat. You can give moistened white bread, but do not abuse it. It is not recommended to give a lot of fish, as the crow may develop diarrhea. If possible, you can give live food, rodents, insects, lizards, frogs. The raven does not disdain even wood lice. And nuts are his favorite treat. You cannot give the crow alcohol, drinks and juices from the store, salted and fried foods, dairy products, canned food, sausages. In order for the plumage of the bird to remain beautiful and the bird itself to be active and healthy, one should not forget about top dressing. Crushed eggshells, clay, white and blue, seaweed are great for fortification. Not only do you need to feed the crow heartily, you need to provide him with leisure. So that the feathered pet does not get bored while the owner is at work, you need to buy toys and rattles for him. Also, these birds love all sorts of shiny trinkets. What is a positive characteristic of a domestic raven? Raven quickly recognizes his owner, but only him. Raven is a very smart bird. Easily trainable. But at the same time, you need to remember that in order to train a bird, you need to buy it young, under the age of 6 months. Perhaps this is where all the pros of keeping a bird at home end. Negative aspects of keeping a crow. Large expenses for arranging an aviary for a crow in a living room. If the bird lives in a house or apartment while moving freely, then you need to be prepared for peeled wallpaper, destroyed furniture, and other troubles. The price of the bird itself is not so small either. It ranges from 9 to 15,000 rubles. You need to constantly deal with a bird at least 3 hours a day, otherwise the pet will get bored. You need to talk to him. Also, the bird needs to be taken out for a walk in an apartment, house, but you can also go outside. To prevent the bird from flying away, special harnesses for walking are sold. Like any living creature, a crow will eventually need a pair. If it is not possible to start it, then the raven will consider the owner to be its pair and ignore everyone else, and in the worst case, show aggression. Considerable expenses for a balanced diet for poultry. The bird cannot be left to friends, relatives if you need to go on a business trip or on vacation. You will need to spend money on a veterinarian if the bird gets sick. It is necessary to purchase a crow from a breeder, but not in the bird market or on an ad from the internet. In this case, you need to study the reviews of previous buyers. This bird is not suitable for families with children and other pets. A raven can easily peck out a cat's eye, mistaking it for its enemy, and simply out of a sense of jealousy for the owner. The raven is a clean bird, so it will try to urinate outside its nest. In captivity, it will make loud sounds similar to coughing, mumbling, knocking, creaking. This is due to a lack of communication with relatives. At least once a week, you will need to clean his nest, wash the floor, change the litter. And if you bathe intensively and splash water, then you need to clean up even more often. Summing up. To the foregoing, it can be noted that there are more disadvantages in keeping a raven in the house than positive aspects. Such a pet is suitable for lonely people when the children are already adults, or for homebodies who are on a well-deserved rest. But nothing can replace the joy of communicating with a raven bird from its devotion and loyalty to the owner. Are you thinking about getting a raven or crow? Let us know what you decide in the comments below. And if you know someone who's thinking about getting a raven or crow, please share this with them. If you liked this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Otherwise, have a great day. Thanks for watching.